It's the rise and the fall of Miss New Zealand.
I've known Linda for years and she's one of my best friends, but I never knew about her Miss World, Miss New Zealand. She never talked about it.
I do like to keep it a bit quieter.
She's very modest, and that's what I like about her.
A funny story is when I was a photography student in 1986, I used to collect pictures of Linda, and one of my assignments was to copy one for a school project. And I used my sister, and I think I did a pretty good job. Not too bad.
She's just something special.
Before the Miss New Zealand, I actually won the Dolly Cover Girl of the Year. And then I did Face of the 80s, which was great for, your deportment or your catwalk, everything like that. So that was a really good experience, up and down to Auckland for that. And then that just naturally led on to Miss Canterbury, Miss New Zealand, and then going on over to Miss World. At the beginning of my modelling career, I actually had one of those terrible 80s perms, which is quite horrific. So my short hair just stuck, and it just worked.
No Miss New Zealands had ever had short hair up until Linda. So it was very, very modern and very different at Miss World.
Pete Sinclair, he loved saying I look like Marilyn Monroe, so I got that reference a lot.
Linda, I commented before that your face has a kind of Marilyn Monroe quality, the young Marilyn. What is your own favourite actress and why?
Oh, Marilyn Monroe is pretty special, but Joan Collins would have to be the lady.
That night at Miss New Zealand, I didn't think I would win that.
Miss Christchurch, Canada.
It's crazy. It's amazing. All these emotions do go through your head, and you do cry like we all do. I'm not sure why that happens, but it's just overwhelming. And you've got the girls all crowding around, and they're all kissing and doing their thing, and everyone's happy. It's great. And that night is such a blur. You don't expect that it's going to happen to you, and then when it does, it's kind of like, wow, shivers. What have I done? I didn't think so at the time, but when you look back, it probably is quite a big transition. It is a lot especially coming from the small town, it's a lot to take on.
New Zealand's first short-haired winner was jetting off to London, and the world press were already noticing her.
It was crazy. The night before the final, thousands and thousands of people were betting huge money on me, which seems insane. They picked me as one of their favourites.
Linda was the favourite to win that year.
Yeah, my odds were pretty good going by the bookies over there, and the bookies are a big deal over there. My odds were 1 to 2, so I guess I was right up there. Over there, you'd see some of the prints, some of the images and bits and pieces that were being said about you and photos of all the girls, but there was no internet, so you didn't have that same chat that you would have these days. So we were spared all of that, which is really good, because that could be quite nasty.
Another favourite that year was actually Halle Berry, who went on to do pretty well.
Halle was great. Halle got quite a hard time. There was one night where she was actually in my room crying with me because her national costume, it had a sheer bodysuit with strategically placed glitter and sequins and everything, and she was so upset over her outfit. Here I was, the sailor girl, and Halle was in this elegant, glamorous, gorgeous thing, which we all thought looked fabulous on it, but she was in tears, just hating it because the media were all over her. She just felt revealed, and she just did not enjoy it one little bit. I didn't realise at the time, but the TV audience worldwide was like 150 million. And that's huge. Imagine if you actually thought about that before you're going on, and this is a live show. To make top 15 was huge. To get that far is great. I didn't think I would get any further. I thought that was it.
For the first time ever, Miss New Zealand scored the highest out of 78 girls in the preliminary competition. The pressure was on.
I made top 7, so then you had to do this wee interview. And so then that's quite daunting because you're talking about yourself and you have to talk about your modelling and what you've done and what your interests are.
Hello to you, Linda McManus. Now, you've already been on television, haven't you? Tell us about that.
I have. About 4 weeks ago, an American film crew came to New Zealand with a program called Two on the Town, and they travelled all over the world filming at tourist spots throughout the world, good spots to go on holiday or go and see.
You're representing your country, so you just want to do well, not only for you, but for the country. There was a lot of pressure. There was a lot of pressure coming through from friends and different things. You'd talk to people back home, and
Oceania's Queen of Beauty is Miss New Zealand.
And then you make that final 5, and it's like, it's kind of one of those things you get there and you're like, shoot, I don't want to lose this now. You kind of, that competitive side of you digs in and you're like, yeah, this is quite cool. But then even though you don't win, it's really cool to have got that far. It's a huge experience. 79 people.
Some of the world's most beautiful girls gathered in London's Albert Hall this morning for the Miss World contest. Among them was 20-year-old Linda McManus of Christchurch. She picked up the Miss Oceania title and was the favourite for the overall win.
We was robbed.
She didn't win, she came 4th, but she beat Halle Berry, who is now an international, global icon. So that is winning. At the end of the day, who can say that? Who can credit themselves with that? Only Linda McManus.
It was such a great achievement for Linda to get 4th of all those countries. And I'm really proud of her.
To round off 1986, New Zealand won another title, with Helen Crawford winning the Miss Asia Pacific. New Zealand was now a powerhouse in the world of beauty.
The first time I realised that it was important to be representing New Zealand is when I hopped on the plane with my sash, and everybody on the plane, because you had to have your sash on your plane, and I asked them to hang it up. I got instantly taken up to first class, which was brilliant. And I went, I'm representing New Zealand. This is actually quite important. And it was important to New Zealanders. Gosh, I remember being announced in the top 5, and the thought that went through my head was, well, you've come this far, you better win now. And then when they called out that Miss New Zealand was the winner, it was the classic stunned mullet, possums in the headlight look. Bam, it was straight away from the minute the after function that night. No, you can't have that glass of champagne. No, you can't do that. You go and put your crown on. Can you fix your lipstick? This person is your minder, and your minder's stuck with you. I had a lady that was like my mother, and so told me what I had to wear every day, what my schedule was, and literally it got to the stage after months and months that I'd stand behind my hotel door and go, right, smile. And then you could go out, because there was always going to be reporters outside your door. They'd watch every move. You had to be on your 101% best behaviour every second. You would put on, I am now Miss Asia Pacific, and I'm walking out the door. And you'd get home and you can go, I'm taking off my Miss Asia Pacific persona, and I can now sit back and put my feet up and relax because nobody can see me.
For the lady that couldn't make it last year, Judith Kirk.
Judith is a nurse. She's 21 and she's from Auckland.
My parents flew down to Christchurch, came and watched it. It was glamorous at the time, all those beautiful gowns. I remember that shimmering blue gown. I do remember feeling really old because I was 21 and I was considered, well, I was one of the oldest in the competition, and I was a nurse. So I actually had a career going, and this wasn't my prime focus. It was a bit of a side gig. Yeah, I look back and go, well, good on you. I remember my knees were knocking, I was nervous. It wasn't really my world, but it was a bit of fun. Everyone's competitive. In the commercial break, when they name the 5 people and you have the commercial break and you go, oh, that's my name. Oh, and those are the 4 other one. One of us will be it. You know, it was a fairly long 3 minutes, and it's live. It was live. I thought Lana would win. She had all the beautiful, 80s hair. I had the little sleek bob. Still got the little sleek bob.
Of course, Jude and Lana were both in it in the same year, both models that I worked with a lot, and they went on to have fabulous careers both in TV and in modelling.
So the late 80s were a time where a lot of us that ended up in television came from cheerleaders, actually. Think of Wendy Petrie, Susie Aitken, or Miss Universe New Zealand, because that was the pool, that was the talent pool that people were looking in, and that's where we were swimming.
It does give women a platform to go into a career that they, and a world of glamour that they would never, ever ordinarily be able to access.
Anyone who had a bit of spark, I think they asked if we were interested.
I was recently on Celebrity Treasure Island, which was such a great experience, and my name on there, or what I was known for, was being the former Miss New Zealand.
Because of Miss New Zealand, I had a lot of opportunities. I was one of the first presenters when Lotto actually came to New Zealand. I think I did a 6-week stint.
So Miss Universe New Zealand was actually the reason I got into television, because I wouldn't have been exposed.
What made Tracy and Lolly special? Well, that's a hard one for me to say because they're my very close friends.
They sparkle. They have such a personality. They have very good bodies.
Defy anybody not to love them.
The most glamorous duo, mother and daughter.
Yeah, I always wanted to wear that sash.
I have first-hand knowledge of when they went to Guam for that contest. It was quite remarkable that they were chosen initially.
We won through a photograph that an agency had put forward. What do you mean? Adelaide just said you're going in the mother-daughter competition. I've sent a photo in, and you're doing it. I never ever thought in my wildest dreams that I'd be in any beauty pageants. My friends, when they find out that we were mother and daughter, I get them asking, well, where was it, and what did you have to do, and where did you come, and all that sort of stuff.
Meet our beautiful contestants.
Kia ora from New Zealand. I'm Lorraine Downes. And I'm her daughter Tracy.
We were fully the favourites. Well, yes, I really thought we might get into the final 5.
From New Zealand, interior decorator and part-time model Lorraine Downes plans a February wedding. Daughter Tracy has been a professional model since the age of 13.
The media loved us because we were performers. I mean, we had actually the modelling background and everything, so we sort of could work it. We could place ourselves in the right spot at the right time. And any game show that they put on, we were always picked to be out there in front.
Will the real daughter step up to her mom? There we are.
That just filled up the whole screen. I remember that we had to go like face to face like that, and I had to have my hair to the side like that, all big on that side. Then you had to have your hair big on the other side. It was like a big heart.
Our 8th semi-finalist. From New Zealand, Lorraine and Tracy Downes.
Of course, it makes you feel proud and amazing, and actually, at the same time, nervous and worrying because you are representing so many different rounds. It came over the audio. Finally, you were emotional to me, which was just like fab.
Tracy, I have never felt so proud as I do this moment. You have been my best friend, and I could never wish for a more beautiful daughter. Don't ever stop being the woman you are. I love you, honey.
Oh, I know. Well, you had a few tears. That's what I'm saying. You were just like, and my lovely daughter.
Mother, you are beautiful and giving. All my memories are filled with your devotion to me. I'm so happy you are secure now, Mum. You deserve all the tenderness you have given me all these years.
Did we have to do a talent quiz? We didn't know. No. I wonder what our talent would have been.
The true nature of their personality really came out in that contest, and that's what's so wonderful about Tracy and Lowell. There's nothing false about them. What you see is what you get, and it's really quite incredible.
What a combo. I mean, how exciting, how fabulous.
We should have fully won. We were like streaks. We nailed it, we thought. But we fully did. Yeah. People always would say to me, why didn't you enter the Miss New Zealand? And well, actually, I've often wondered that too, because of your experience and everything. Yeah, you would have been a perfect, but for some reason, because I wanted to concentrate on my modelling, and you were categorised as either a beauty pageant girl or a serious model.